Cyber
I
attack?
think so. I think we spent way too much time on plant-based meat.
On Tyson and plant-based.
From Tyson. Tyson went on to Beyond, so that's a Beyond segment. There you have it.
Enjoy to infinity and beyond, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. All right.
We touch bases on everything. All right.
We're on Biden. The oil pipeline cyber attack. Have you heard about this? Cyber attack?
Yes, just now.
Okay. Jeez. Okay. So, look, I don't know what happened. Okay.
I get my news from you.
I know. Well, you're screwed because I don't. Why? Look, I have Alexa tells me some stuff. I listen to all the different news networks, and I listen to headlines. That's all I listen to. I don't get involved in this stuff. I don't know what's actually going on. I heard that there's a pipeline. It's 100 million barrels of oil, I think, that we lost because of ransomware. Now, I will say this. Are you familiar with ransomware?
Can we get stocks in ransomware? Because I believe the oil prices just went up.
Did they? Yeah. I mean, if I would have gotten to Exxon, well, I did. If I would have stayed in CVX, see Exxon.
Chevron, oh my God, come on.
No, dude, I'm serious. Look at this. Look at this nonsense right here. There's my line. Pretty much followed my line, but I got the hell out. I think.
That's a bummer. I think
at a loss, I think.
Earnings, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the third day or something like that, I freaked out at 105. I got in 106, got in at 105. I freaked out.
Maybe the guys with the ransomware were, oil stockholders and said they needed a boost.
Maybe. Well, so how familiar are you with ransomware? Because I'm not too familiar, but I do know a teeny bit.
I know of it, but it's not one of those things that I'm like very, very familiar with. But we can go over it together, guys. I mean, let's take a look. So the biggest thing that I'm aware of, and with again not diving into my background, is when people are calling because they're like, yeah, I just paid these guys $300 to fix my computer. Because they said they were from Microsoft and that I had a virus and I couldn't use my computer anymore. And as soon as I paid them, I was able to use my computer, but it turns out they're not actually from Microsoft. It's like, well, no shit. Because when they called you and told you that you need to approve a charge that's not from Seattle, Washington, where Microsoft is actually headquarters and bills out of, and they got you to approve some sort of overseas transaction, red flag, you're an idiot. But yeah, I mean that's my familiarity with it. Just so laughing at.
Here's my knowledge of it, which isn't vast at all, and it's changed over the years, like everything has. Not only do you get emails from the Prince of Saudi Arabia now, but you also will get emails from the Prince of Nigeria and from Europe, right? And maybe someone wants you to buy a square foot of land in Scotland to be a lord or something. But look, I'm not saying everything's a scam. I'm just saying, there's some weird things out there that in existence. Ransomware, my understanding, is that typically comes from people who have incriminating evidence that has been hacked. So a lot of times, taboo porn or pedophilia or some weird off the wall shit. And then what happens is, you get this virus because you're looking for some nonsense that you shouldn't be looking for. And so you're in the dark regions of the internet, And while you're there, you pick up a virus, just like in real life. You go in the dark corners of the world looking for a little bit of taboo. You may come back and need to see your doctor, right?
Man,
and my med can't help you.
Wear the shampoo for a week.
Yeah. So the ransomware comes out is basically like, bro, send me some Bitcoin, or and that's, I think most of them are want the money in cryptocurrency, but who knows? Whatever. Maybe some are like, we'll take cash. I don't know. But they're like, hey, give us some money, send it to my cryptocurrency, my Bitcoin wallet, or we're going to release this data. And in the meantime, you can't use your computer. Or it's also, and in addition, or alternatively, we're going to wipe your drive and you're screwed. But here's the reason why ransomware doesn't typically work when wiping a drive, because your drive is going to be backed up. And if you're running a server or something like that, you have multiple contingencies, multiple backups. your daisy chain through AWS or whatever the hell's going on. I don't know. Don't know. Not the tech guy, not the security guy. However, because the easiest way to get back control after ransomware is to say, no, delete and reinstall a fresh copy of whatever it is to run it. That's the best way to get through ransomware, unless they have save data that you don't want released, which is typically could be it also could be emails and personal, like if you got hacked as a social media company and they're like, we got all your usernames, passwords, or even they really wouldn't be able to, but they could anyway. So they get the passwords, they leak all that shit if you don't pay the bounty.
Let's dive into this as well, guys. So ransomware is a type of malware from cryptovirology that threatens to publish a victim's data or perpetually block access to it unless a ransom is paid. And it looks like back in 2015, the FBI reported that there was over $18 million taken from ransomware.
Doesn't seem like much.
It doesn't seem like much. However, if we're talking 18 million in 2015 and people were not nearly as heavily using the internet, and do you remember the conversation we had the other day about how banks just write off fraud if it's within certain dollar amounts?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If the ransomware was smart enough to go for small dollar amounts, they would never be investigated, and the bank would basically be throwing away the money. But I mean, if you look at, for instance, 2020 with, amid COVID, like there's a shit ton of people using the internet. There was probably a ton of ransomware. I wonder if there's any statistics for that. But while I look that up, why don't you continue in reference to what happened with the oil pipeline?
Sure. So whoever this was, I forgot the name. Doesn't matter. It does, but it doesn't for this case. For what I care about, it doesn't matter. They got some ransomware ransomware on their server. Dude didn't cough at the money. Whoever it was didn't cough at the money. Shut it down. Cost production of about 100 million barrels of oil. So with this being said, oil was already, for a variety of different reasons,